Hey, you're in the corner, it's Ellie. So in today's video is going to be kind of like, I might be kind of all over the place simply because usually I like have notes in front of me, and in this video I do have notes in front of me, but it's not like in super detail as they usually are, because it's kind of, I want it to be like kind of free verse and speak from the heart. But this, my puppy is ripping whatever that is. Treasure, can you not do that right now? Thank you. Okay, so when people get into real estate, a lot of people fall into it because they're like, how can I make a lot more money? Or how can I, increase my income, create passive income, and things like that. And they, if they buy a course or whatever, they end up seeing that and so then they kind of get disappointed after they buy a course or whatever, they go through a training, and they don't close a deal. And it's like, they call the people who made the course a scam. They, say that their mentorship was not needed and it's totally unnecessary, it costs too much money, and all that type of stuff. And then I look at those people and I analyze, as much of the course as either given out for free, or if I bought the course, or other testimonials from the person who, testimonials from other people who bought the course or were part of the program and all that type of stuff. And everybody else had good results. And it's like, you can't go blaming the other person because you either don't have a passion for real estate, or you're not willing to deal with not liking real estate for itself in order to reap the benefits of having, large lump sums of money or passive income. Because, some people the way that we're taught about money in school just doesn't align with how money actually works. And so when you're like, oh, why would I put down $10,000 just so I can make $500 a month? Okay, why would you put down $20,000 so you can pay $500 a month? That's what a mortgage is. And so when you're trying to teach people, or you're trying to communicate, how the numbers work, they're going to have to unlearn a lot of things. And it's very difficult for people to unlearn things. It's very easy to learn something if you know absolutely nothing about it. Like my sister, she used to pick up on a bunch of stuff. She used to, the little skateboards that you do with your fingers, or yo-yoing. She was very good at that type of stuff, what's it called? Kinetic type of skills. Because that's something that she likes to exercise, and that was something she picked up on quickly. Like, she was one of the best yo-yoers that I knew personally. Everybody used to yo-yo when we were little, and she would just be like, whoop, do all the little tricks and stuff. And that was just something that she was very easily able to pick up on, because that was something that she was exercising. If I was to go into doing kinetic, is it kinetic or kinesthetic? That type of learning with my hands, I would be a sponge, but I would be a resistant sponge, simply because that's not something that I want to do. Like, she would play the piano and all that type of stuff. I'm more so somebody who would like to write, or I would use my entire body for physical activity or something like that, versus using my hands and my fingers and working those muscles and stuff like that. And so when you're going into trying to teach somebody about money, not just real estate, but about money, period, they're not going to understand the fact that you're going to have to offer below market value in order for the numbers to work. Because all they're used to is buy a house is an asset. Yes, that's true, but it can be a liability, and they're not taught how it is a liability and why it's bad for them versus when it is good for them. Because, let's just say you buy 3 properties, one of them you live in, then, that house is okay. So I talked for a long time, and my phone did not tell me that my storage was full. And so I'm having to talk about everything pretty much all over again. I'm just hoping I don't come off like cold, because I'm kind of pissed off about that. That's the only thing about like iPhones is I have my flash on. The flash stays on even if the phone is not recording. And so I didn't know that it stopped recording. And I'm so upset right now. But I guess I was kind of ranting anyway. I'm just going to get straight into like what my points were. Okay, so how much education do you need to get started in real estate investing? And I say as much as you want. You know, you just don't want to have, you don't want to get analysis paralysis, of course. But that's basically when you're just educating yourself and you're not doing anything. You have to put everything into action. But you don't want to get out there and not know enough, because that would be embarrassing. You don't want to have like properties under contract at terrible prices or over the ARV and stuff like that, have the wrong repairs numbers or just anything like that, because then people, if anything, it'll just ruin your reputation. So then when you do get a real good deal under your belt, then no one's gonna want to buy it, because it's like, oh, that's Joe, he doesn't have real deals, let's just not buy from him, I don't want to look at it. And that's what would happen. So I say, like, as long as you understand that the basis, at least of wholesaling, is get leads, get a property under contract, sign the contract, close. As long as you understand that those are the basis of what it is to construct a deal, it's very simple. And as long as you know that, you understand that, I feel like you're good to go. But it's just, the beginning part is the most important. Of course, assigning the property is very important, but getting the deal itself is so much work. At least, when you're doing lead generation on a continuous basis, it is so much work, and not including the negotiations and all that type of stuff. And you want to make sure you get that right in the beginning, otherwise you won't be able to sell it. So yeah, should you buy a real estate course, and is it worth the money? I do think that you should buy a course. I think that people should get mentors. I think that people should be part of masterminds. I think that they should pay for REI association memberships. A REI is a real estate real estate investing association. I think that people should pay for all that type of stuff. Everything is worth the money. And I do understand, like, spending $30,000 on a real estate course doesn't seem feasible for a lot of people, but think about it. If you're spending $30,000 on a degree and you're not even guaranteed a job afterward, that doesn't seem fair. But you're spending $30,000 today and you're being taught how to make $30,000 back in 3 months. I feel like that's great. I feel like that's a great opportunity. I feel like it makes sense mathematically. But a lot of other people believe that, college education is the only education that you should pay for. That's just not true. Mentorships are great. Masterminds are great. I just got out of a mastermind. I actually won the spot into it. So I didn't pay anything personally, but the other people who did pay, they paid like maybe $300 to $500. I don't remember. But all those things are worth it. And that was one of the reasons I created the Bird Dog Experts on Facebook. If you look in the link below, you'll see like where it is and everything. But I just made it $5 a month for right now, because I know that people feel like paying like hundreds of thousands of dollars just isn't worth it for them. And so I'm like, if I'm teaching the very basics, and I'm teaching for people who aren't even sure that they want to continue in real estate, might as well make it cheap, because either they can't afford it or they don't want to invest so much that they feel like they lost money because they may not like it. It would suck to pay that $30,000 and then end up not even liking real estate. They might have done better paying that $30,000 into learning how to do penny stocks, or learning how to start a different type of business, or just using that money to invest into something else altogether. And so that is why I made mine so inexpensive. because that's my demographic. It's people who either can't afford or they're not sure. And I don't want people to feel like, this is a whole scam and whatever and whatnot. Like, it's not a scam at all. That's what I'm trying to get out of people's heads. Just because you pay for education, no matter the price. I don't care if it's $100,000 to talk to Warren Buffett. Like, it's Warren Buffett. You're going to want to pay $100,000 to talk to him. And so, like, that, just my thoughts on it. Should you start a business or should you dabble in real estate investing? I feel like you should always dabble first before you start the business. Like, just see how the industry, not just the industry, but like how the process goes, and including the industry, because you might not like the people you have to associate with. Not to say that, they might be bad people or whatever, but if you don't like talking about real estate, you might not want to be a real estate investor, because that's all a lot of us talk about. It's not anything that takes over our lives. It's just a lot of us are so passionate about it that we can't stop talking about it. We can relate everything to it. I remember it was something going on. We're talking about the lottery. I think I was watching the movie Lottery Ticket, or it was something like that. And they're talking about how they won $1 million or whatever. And I was like, $1 million? Do you know how many houses you could flip with $1 million? And everybody just started laughing because they know that that's my thing. Like, I talk about real estate all the time. It's just like, hey, that house right there, you could buy it for like $5,000, put like $20,000 worth of work into it, and then get like $600 in rent every month. And I could just do that. And so that's something that comes up in conversation all the time. If you don't like talking about real estate, I don't recommend getting into real estate, because the people you're going to be getting to know are going to talk about real estate all the time. Another reason is to dabble is to recognize whether you should hire employees or not. Man, this is one of the toughest things that I still struggle to talk about, because in the partnership that I was in, we hired a bunch of people without having the systems in order. And we ended up having to fire pretty much everybody. And it made me feel so bad. And what made me feel worse is that the other side didn't feel as much remorse as me. Because I'm like, we trained all these people. We taught them how to do everything. And we didn't even fulfill our promise to them. That makes me feel like a piece of crap. And so you should learn how to do everything yourself until you get to a certain point to where you need employees. Don't wait to the last minute to where you need employees and then you have to scramble to get them. But if you're able to scale your business to a certain point and you understand how your numbers work and everything, then you're like, okay, I want to take it to the next level. Then you bring somebody in, teach them what they need to know, and then you're able to scale that way and gradually get up and up and up. Then you're good. I feel like you should always do it yourself first before you start hiring people, because if you're not the one training them, they're going based off of their own knowledge, and if they don't know what to do, then you're screwed. That's like hiring, let's just say you're the manager at McDonald's and you just hire somebody to work the cashier and you hire them to do burger flipping in the back. They don't know how long to leave the burgers on each side in the back. They don't know, even though working a cash register is pretty simple, it might be like a touchscreen. There might be a certain process you have to do to issue refunds. Like, you can't just put somebody somewhere and expect them to know what to do versus actually training them. And if you haven't done it yourself, you can't really give a real training. And you have to do it yourself at some point in time. Okay, well, that's pretty much it for this video. I spoke for a lot longer in the first time I filmed this, and my phone didn't tell me that it wasn't even recording. So, just gonna leave that alone, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Let me know what you guys want to see. I'm going a lot into detail in my group, the Bird Dog Experts, and so I would love it for you guys to join that group on Facebook, because that's where that's where a lot of my attention is going right now, because it's so much work to create like organized content for people. That's why I brought up my course. I have not made it yet. I have it kind of organized, but because in the Facebook group is mostly just videos and like a few resources of like things you can do, like a handwritten letter format. I provided that in my group and everything. Before a course, you have to have transcript, written things in there, not just videos. And I just haven't gotten to that point yet. So that's why I started with the Facebook group, to see, like, to dabble in the education part besides just YouTube, and to see, like, what can I do? What do people want to know? What do people want to see? And what needs to be written? What needs to be in video? What needs to be in audio? Like with my conference calls as well. And, that's my whole experiment with that. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe, comment, do all that down below. Check the description box for anything. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.